Alrighty, what's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody had a lovely day. And with that being said, let's dive into the TA. All right, guys, we'll kick it off here with the indices. We're going to try and run through things within 5-10 minutes here. Indices first, Mag 7 stocks second, semiconductors last, and then Bitcoin last. All right, let's run it. First things first, let's go over previous price action here. You got a golden pocket sitting here. You pushed up to the 9. You came down to that golden pocket. You found buyers. And now this is the second test of the 9. You rejected it again. But what's important, you just came up here and pushed the highs. You can see over here on SPY, you actually did make a higher high today after, putting this low over here. And you did get your close over the 9 over here. I am just going to say, for anybody who thinks the market's going to be sold this quick, I think you're crazy. I'm going to be completely honest. I think you're crazy. I think people who are looking for the market to, massively sell from here, I think what are you talking about? All right. 4 weeks of selling, like hard selling, 4 weeks. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 4th week, you started getting a face rip rally. 1, 2, 3. 4th week, you started getting the face ripper rally. 1, 2, face ripper. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dead cat bounce, but notice it literally lasts for 3 freaking weeks. We're on like week number 2. It's technically 1, but we'll call it 2. Why do you think the market's going to sell right now? It can, but everything is already oversold. All right, 1, 2, 3. You got a 2-week bounce. All right, you want to go back to the bear market? Let's talk about it. 1, 2, 3. 4th week, you started that 2-week bounce. 1, 2, 3 weeks in, you had a massive bounce. 6.6%. You want to talk about this guy? This is the ugliest guy out of them all. 1, 2, 3, 4. What happened on that 5th week right there? 4.5% rally. Did we get no 4.5 freaking percent rally? No. No, we didn't. We got a 3.75% rally. That was in the bear market when you had peak negative energy in the market, peak negative sentiment in the market, and it still was able to rally the 4.5%. I'm telling you, everyone and their mother still thinks this thing's going to keep falling off a cliff. I'm seeing it on Twitter, and honestly, it's genuinely just pissing me off. I know you've been right for like, a few weeks now. The market's just been falling off a cliff. I'm telling you, anybody who's trying to short down here, you're short in a hole. Like, I didn't need to know what was going to happen with FOMC today. The odds are that you're going to be bouncing, because if you take out the low, it's absolutely ridiculous again. But if you do that, you're going to undercut the low ever so slightly, or you would come down here into the golden pocket, and then you would bounce back, and you're probably going to make your way on up here. We haven't even tested the 200 DMA. You bounced at it. You sold down through it. We have not even tested it. Do not think the market is just going to start falling off a cliff here without coming up here. And again, screw where the market's going to go. Let's talk about time here. 4 weeks to the downside. 1 week of bounce. Where else do you see it? You didn't even see it. I pointed out in the bear market. All right? Like, just look at this. Bottom of the candle to top, 6%. What did we get over here? 4%. That would be the equivalent of coming up here, and that's more like it. I'm thinking 580 to 590 at a minimum. That's where you have the short-term moving averages. But you didn't even get the dead cat bounce. You've had absolutely no relief, so just get it through your mind. I'll get it through mine. We'll all get it through our minds. Dead cat bounce is underway. It's happening. Key chart we're going to point out in this video, VIX. You lost the 9 and the 21 over here on the daily time frame. We said this was going to be important. Once you started getting under the 21 over here, get the close in the 2204. You got that right over here. You came back, retested it yesterday, and now you sold. That typically is not followed by an immediate VIX spike. It's just not how things usually go. You're probably going to come all the way back down here towards 18 bucks over here on VIX over the coming trading sessions. That's the outlook. All right, so let's go over levels here as quick as possible, and we're gonna go over the Mag 7 stocks. We're saying as quick as possible. We got a good amount to cover in this video, and your boy is tired, and he actually has food in the oven that just finished. So we are going to finish this because your boy is hangry. He wants to eat. All right, he wants to eat. All right. we're gonna come down to the 15-minute time frame for this one. You know, we can actually, yeah, we'll use the 15-minute. All right. Tomorrow, guys, break under 480.40. We're talking 476.28 underneath there. We're going to be watching 472.41. At that point, you don't want to get back this whole move. That is weakness. That means you might be going lower. So if I had to guess, we're probably not going to be getting that. You better hold 476.28, because if not, things can get ugly. You open yourself to 472.41, and that's when, hey, doors wide open to just take the extra 1% and get back down to lows. You don't want to see it. Like I said, I just, spent that time talking about the weekly chart, because I am still seeing most accounts, like big accounts on Twitter, all right, that I follow, that I'm seeing on my feed, they're just still bearish. And, people are saying, like there's selling going on right now already after the bounce. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I don't even want to listen to these guys, because I don't think, like, I know you've been right about all this, but people are calling it a bear market. You really haven't even, you have not even had the bounce to confirm that you're in the bear market. For all we know, the thing's going to pop up to all-time highs and drive everybody bonkers. All right? You're going to get this bounce. People are going to short here, and then you go up here, and it drives everyone nuts. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but, like, that's a scenario, and people are still just, like this. And I'm like, what are you talking about? We're not getting back down to 450 right now. All right. Look for upside above 485.84. You're watching 494.49. That's where you have the 200 DMA and that 21. Minimum target for this bounce right here. Right there. All right. Shameless plug, guys. Go down, hit the link down below. Twitter account. I'll be posting every day. These are going to be actionable charts for you to take advantage of if you choose so. But if you are someone who does not have a lot of time throughout the day and you're someone who works, I will do the work for you. Just go over there and hit the follow button, hit the alert button, and you'll know when we're posting charts. All right. But you get, we're talking 2 to 4 charts a day. We'll say 3 to 4 charts a day, all on actionable, actionable insights over there. All right. And I am primarily a swing trader. So I'm just going to say a lot of these charts you will be seeing are swing focused. There you go. On the downside, like I said, you lose this spot right here. Okay. You come down here. You lose this. It's real ugly. You don't want to see it. So, I'm just going to say you better hold 476 underneath 480.40. You got 476.28. You don't want to lose it. You lose it. I know you can bounce here. I don't think you would bounce here. I think, we're going to draw an arrow here. You lose this guy. We're going to say you come right there. You come down to a new low. All right. That's how that's looking to me. So you're either going to do that. You're going to bounce up here. Maybe pull back a little bit. Maybe you do test this. Maybe you fake people out. And then you go up here. Okay. 2 scenarios for you. Well, the other scenario is this crap. There you go. All right. 2 bullish scenarios, 1 bearish scenario. Your key over here, 476.28. Your key over here, 485.84 for upside. You'll get about a $10 move. Okay. And break under here, you're probably also going to get about a $10 move. So, I gave you the keys to the kingdom here. Here you go. It's very easy here. All right. Over here on SPY, for this guy, we're going to come over to the daily time frame. Down below, you have 464.02. We will look at the 15-minute time frame over here, okay? This level right here, we're taking it off. It's not being respected, okay? On the upside, you have 469.71, and above there, 572.25. And what is that red line, guys? Yes, the 200 daily moving average. You still have not hit it, and people are already getting bearish. Why are you not going to go a little bit higher and at least test that? All right. And, from what I was just pointing out, I think it's very likely we end up getting all the way up here. We test these short-term moving averages either there, or we're going to test the golden pocket, go slightly above it, and then we can drop again. But I don't think you're just going to start falling off a cliff here. I know you've been doing that for quite some time, but we're starting to get that sustained relief. And that is this is a change of character that we didn't get here. We didn't get here. We didn't get here. The next day on all of these, you made new lows. You're finally not getting it. We're getting the bounce. You're going to probably make it up to this area. That's when you start getting cautious again. You don't get cautious right here. Well, you can if you want. I'm not going to, no financial advice on this channel. Everything is up to you. I don't want to tell anybody what to do with their money. Okay. But, I'm definitely going to say, you really don't have a reason to be bearish right now. Everybody and their mother's bearish. You have the NASDAQ McClellan oscillator. It's been oversold for weeks. You're going to get the sick, nasty bounce. It's incoming. All right. So that's my opinion. Honest opinion. Also, VIX, we got exactly what we were looking for. This was going to be the tell that we're going to get a few days of rally. You break underneath the 21. Well, now you retest it and you, boom, came right back down. You probably now secured another few days of bounce. There you go. Okay. So SPY, to sum up levels, guys, above 569.71, you have 572.25, and then you have 577.39, and then 580.91. Coming back down to the 15-minute time frame. On the downside, you're watching this level right here, 566.29. Underneath there, you got 564.02. You're getting a bunch of reactions around there. Underneath there, you have 559.11 and then 554.87. Just like on QQQ, you don't want to revisit this level. You revisit 559. You're coming down to 549 with all likelihood. You don't want to do it. You just don't. And, hey, maybe, maybe we do get this freaking range building out here and it drives everyone bonkers. No idea. No idea. They've done this for longer than I thought. I'm not going to say thought was possible. I knew it was possible. That I thought was, probable. Completely probable. All right. You had so many failed bounce attempts. I really just haven't seen that. Okay. Normally, it's pretty obvious. Over here, it was like every single big green day you started getting. You're like, okay, buyers are starting to come in, shorts are covering, boom, slammed. Okay, and you're finally not getting that over here, so that's good. All right, so that's SPY for you. Come over here to IWM, and again, people are bearish right here. Look for the retest up here. You're probably going to test the 200, and that's a ways away. That is literally another 6% from current price. But at a minimum, you're probably coming up to 213.97. This area right here is where we are going to be paying attention to on the upside. 213.97 to 217.37. That's really going to be your key over here to, whether this thing is going to fail or not. Because if you start getting above here, it honestly will not have a bad picture. But if you just expect rejection here, it's pretty obvious. This is where all the confluence is for sellers there. But for the time being, guys, you have support being 206.02, then 203.75 under there. And from that point, you're back at 201.99. Honestly, you don't want to come back down here. If you can't hold 201.99, you come back down to lows. And on the upside, break above 208.84, that's when the explosive move can actually happen. And you could get a one-day move over here, and that could pay you. All right. But, I think we are out of this, whole bull trap scenario over here. I think now it is, sells for the time being, 1 to 2 weeks. We talked about it. That is probably going to be where the traps are, for bears. And then eventually we're going to have to see what happens. But we have to actually get the bounce to see what happens. And we haven't had it. Okay. You're still underneath these short-term moving averages over here. We really haven't had all that much relief. It has not happened. Get above 208.84. Good things can happen on IWM. Coming over to DIA, you are right underneath the 200 and it is looking like you are going to continue going higher over here. Do that, or we're going to build out this scenario and you're going back near highs. This is what I'm saying. If you fall right now and you make this new low, you know what? Screw DIA. We'll reference it on SPY. If you make this new low, you're putting in a major bottom, you're getting something like this. I don't care what no one says. You fall down to no low without this relief, you're putting in the bullish divergence. We only get the bullish divergences at the major bottoms. At this point, you're going to have a week or two in between it. And that's literally just like over here. Well, this was 3 weeks in between. But, this is what I'm saying. You get barely a bounce and you fall down to a low. But, at the same time, this is a decent, 3.5% rally. You're above the short-term moving averages over here, right? That would be the equivalent to this scenario I was just talking about where we get up here, okay? Slightly above them, but you reject this zone that we were, using as support. It was your breakout over here. Support until you died, and then you rejected it over here. And then you would have thought you were going to get buyers at the 200, but then you didn't get buyers at the 200 and you sliced right underneath it after this really, bullish looking day over here off the 200. Then boom, gap down towards the low. It was just violent. I honestly, I hope the terror price action is gone. I do not prefer it. I'm going to be completely honest. But I honestly do not doubt that weight's going to come right back once we're up over here. And your boy, he's already ready. All right. But, you know, I'm just saying things like you fall back down to a low from right where you are. You're going to make a marginal low. And then you're going to get a big boy rally over here. And it's going to, like, honestly, at that point, like, you have fuel in the tank for good things to happen. Like, it's something like Tesla right now. People are really bearish on Tesla. All right. I'm not going to tell you to be bullish on it. I'm not going to say that by any means. But I will definitely say this is clear as day the most negative sentiment I've ever seen about a stock or a company. You're getting, like, legit, you're getting Molotovs thrown into these dealerships. You're getting cars demolished all over social media, just spray painted, just demolished. Like, you're just ruining these people's cars for driving this company. In reality, the guy, there's no chance he's doing anything bad for the country. There's not a single chance. These guys are rich. These guys are not sitting, like, they don't, like your average politician, that's not these guys. All right? These guys have billions and billions of dollars. Why do people hate him? I'm not a political guy, and I don't want this channel to have any politics going on it. But I'll tell you right now, like, let me know down in the comments if you agree with me. Who the heck thinks Elon Musk is going against him right now? The guy has nothing to gain from that. Nothing to gain. He ain't going to gain more money off of being deceptive to people. He's not stealing from people. Like, I don't want to call no one stupid, but what the heck is going on in your brain to think this way? I talk to people in person that legit think this way, and I'm like, what goes through, what hate is going through your mind where you think someone who is once the richest man in the world, all right, and is like literally just, you know, trying to cut the fat out of the government, you know, like trying to turn the system around. What world do you think that's a bad guy? All right. I've tried hard not you know, letting my political bias show or my bias towards Elon Musk show, but you know, stock is one thing. The guy is a saint. Like, what are people thinking? He's a goofy clown, all right? He's a cornball. I'm a cornball. We like to be goofy, all right? Except he's got a lot of money, like a lot of money. He's rich, he's famous, and he's goofy on stage. You don't see it at all. All right, enough of the Elon Musk talk. We're at a 17-minute video. Let's just carry on there. DIA, it's probably getting above the 200 there. Get above 423.85 is probably going to start heading towards that 430 mark. All right, so those are those. You got the MAG 7 ETF also down here sitting with the bullish divergence, just like we got on a lot of the MAG 7 stocks right now. All right, that's, you know, going to be a big spot up here, up at 49.96. You're going to have the 21. You're going to have the 200 DMA over there. So we're going to have to see. All right, really hasn't MAG 7. Like, let's just look at them. They have not really rallied. But I do think today was a good start. We'll kick it off here with Microsoft. This is my favorite MAG 7 setup right now. I do also like Meta. It is another favorite of mine. But I'll definitely say Microsoft is easily the most coiled up here and ready for this bounce back, probably into this 405 to 410 area over the next 1 to 2 weeks. All right. Break above the 21, get above 394.25. Then you're talking 480, talking 405. Like, not even 408. You're probably just going to shoot up here to that zone. This was a big support zone. Okay. And you come over here, the weekly time frame. I can point this out. The weekly RSI is almost down to where you bottomed out at. It's got the same thing over there on IWM. Like, people are really bearish right now. I'm telling you, they had reason to be, but they're trying to short a hole or be bearish in the hole. And like, this is literally when, if you get over here, it's back into this risk on environment because everything is just so oversold. All right. Like, I pointed this out, PLTR the other day, I pointed this out, 40% off the highs. Okay. 40%, guys. Yeah. You can see it right there. And it has this look. You came down to the 21, short-term moving average over here, reversion to the mean, where you've gotten not only after a 40% bounce, but on all of these little bounces, this is where you started getting, or all these little sells, this is where you started getting bought up from. And people are bearish on the name. All right? I'm seeing someone like, you know, I'm not going to say I get pissed off at these things, but I really do think some people are just engagement farming because there's no way people think like this. All right? Thinking like, I saw like a post. It was like companies like PLTR have to die. This is finally the great, like, great fucking reset. I'm like, what the fuck goes through your mind, dude? All right, like, let's be real about this. Don't be crazy. You've been right for a while, but it's only because the Orange Man decided to do something that's just never been done before. If you want to tell me you knew that was happening, you're a liar. It is what it is. All right, it is what it is. There's actually someone in the Discord, B-Flow, called actually before all of these weekly. I just remember, we're talking over here on QQQ for a while, just pointing this out over here, just around this area. And I was like, nah, it's not going to happen. It's just what, I'm not a dickhead or anything like that, guys. But, that's was going through my mind. I'm like, no way we're about to have like a massive correction after all that time, after just hitting new alta. Like, this just looks so good. All right. And, then we ended up falling flat on the face. But, so it was seeable. But the whole tariff thing, nah, nobody tell me you had saw that coming whatsoever, right? Relentless. Moving on. All right. So we covered Microsoft. We're going to look at in the video over here, guys. And again, you had a monster weekly candlestick. Daily chart also really doesn't look all that bad. Oh, you want to come down to the hourly? You got the inverse head and shoulders. Your key over here for NVIDIA, 115.14. You want to find buyers there if you come back down there, because that opens the door 113.22. You lose 113.22, things get ugly down here, okay? You lose, that opens the door to 110.11. If you break that, you're probably just coming down to a new low. You're going to hit 100. All right? So, like, the odds are right now clearly on the upside. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I do think the fact that we have not been seeing... Trump definitely planned all this crap. I'm just going to be completely honest on, my thoughts on that. He stopped talking about these tariffs once the market started bottoming out. We haven't had any tariffs talk in days. Okay? Why is that? Because he was trying to tank the market to get things where he wanted. Not saying he's buying anything, all right? But, like I said, him and Elon, they're trying to do stuff that has not been done before. Okay? Trump said he wanted rates low. They actually, oh, by the way, FOMC, unchanged rates. Unchanged. Okay? After all of this, unchanged rates. So it was not a negative catalyst, not a bullish catalyst. For that, we look at the technicals. All right. And then your key over here on the upside. So the key over here downside, 113.22. Because that opens the door right here, and you lose here, you're coming down back down to lows, probably going to $100. Key to the upside, 1 hour close above 119.31. Get it? You're probably going to push 122.89. If you can push 122.89, very likely going to break and just head up to 127.67. That is a big spot. You have the daily 200 DMA sitting right up here, okay? But, this over here looks rather constructive to me. I know you're rejecting the 21 over here, and you did it for the second day over here. But at the end of the day, you clearly got bullish structure being built out here. And, we were looking ahead of time. We called this out as a possibility. I think I did it on here. I definitely did it over the Discord, over on this day. But, this was the bullish, pullback possibility here where we would be putting in a right shoulder. And now we're getting that. And it's not looking bad. All right. Coming over to Tesla, we already talked about it. Okay. Break above 240.42. We're talking 251.84. Break above here, you're probably going to test 271, but in between, you have 261.84. On the downside, you're watching 232.60. Lose that, bad things happen. 222.28. Lose that, you're coming down to the lows. 217.02, and at that point, you're probably coming down to 220, or not 220, 212 down here. Okay. Apple, this is the one that I'm just going to say looks like absolute crap, but, knowing this guy, it's about to, pop back up with the overall market, but we're going to have to see about it. Daily RSI, oversold. I understand it doesn't look good, but daily RSI at the end of the day, it is oversold. You do have a very ugly look over here on the weekly time frame, but if you fall down to here, like, let's look at it this way. If you do something like that, you're putting in a major bottom on the market. Okay, if this thing goes like this without a bounce, you're going to have a sick, nasty bounce here. And do you think, the market's not going to move with Apple, the biggest company here? Like, I know it's NVIDIA, but, like, probably not. Okay, it's probably not just going to let Apple rip faces there without the market. That is a massive spot. If you just sell from here and come back down here, like that's the setup right now. That's like really how things are set up here is Apple's coming in 200. All right. And like, I don't think that's going to happen before it bounces just because of what I just pointed out. I think we're probably going to get the overall market bounce and then go lower. All right. But if this thing is the breakdown here, you're going to have this thing come back into oversold territory. You're going to either get a reaction here, you're going to build something out like that. Okay. And you're going to come right back up. And that's going to be fuel for the market to go higher. So if the market, consolidates while Apple falls off a cliff here, and then it starts moving, like you have more fuel to the fire. Okay. And again, do I need to remind everyone? Everyone and their mother is bearish. When I have everyday individuals in my life, like all the time, most of them commenting about the market that never talk about the market, that is meaningful. Okay. You are literally getting, that is sentiment right there because they do not follow the charts. They do not follow the everyday price action. They're only hearing about the news. They're seeing their portfolios red. They're in panic mode or fear mode. It's just how things are. Okay, so Apple, bear flag, definitely the most bearish out of all of them, but I just can't imagine that happening because of the scenario I just talked about. We're going to get a face ripper, like an actual major bottom get put in the market, and that would be that. It's like I was saying before, like you get no relief right here, and then you fall down to a new low. You're going to make a marginal low. You're going to get a face ripper rally, and you're probably having a major bottom. And at that point, I would not write off an all-time, a move to all-time highs. I just wouldn't. All right, bottoms are put in fear. We've had fear for so long now, and people have just accepted it. So that is that. Okay, get above 219.38. That's when you're safe over here on Apple. You're probably going to come up here, test the 200 around like 228. Yeah. All right, and on the downside, what is your key on the downside, guys? Start breaking under 213.75. You're talking 211.49, 209.97, 208.42. Are you going to hear bad things happen? And it all starts with right here. But at the same time, you have this right here. So if you were to break down, maybe you get the bounce here, maybe you get the rejection there, and maybe then you get that. Okay? Meta. You guys can see what I see. You get a big downtrend going on here. You got the trend line. You have 1 hour, whatever the heck this is. 6 points of bullish divergence, whatever that is. You got the bullish divergence here on the daily time frame after hitting oversold territory. You were in the 30s. You're right above the 200 DMA. If you come down, I still can't believe this thing's not going to tap it. So I think it's probably going to tap it. Hopefully it taps it tomorrow. And yeah, I do think from that point, we're probably going to be getting at least a bounce up to 638.40 over here. This is a big spot. All right. But, really this whole area right here, I'll just put it with a zone. All right here. That's what you're really looking at. This 632.10 to 638.40 zone. That's probably going to be tested after that. And then that'll be over by the 21. So that is a perfect spot here for sellers to step back into the mix. Well, if they want to do that, who cares? Who knows? But I also will just say, once things going, like Mag 7 stocks are really beaten down now. I will not be surprised you get over the 21. Maybe it takes a few days of dancing around it. And then 2 weeks down the line, you're all the way up here or here. All right, 660 or 675. Amazon showed the most strength today out of them all. Why do I say that? This move right here, or over here on this bounce, most stocks did not bounce back to highs. It just did not. Like you can even see over here on SPY. All right, it did not bounce back to highs. And this is going to represent, we'll just say this represent tech stocks right here, okay? What did Mr. Amazon do over here? It popped back up to highs. You had this dip over here. Well, do you want to see what happened with QQ? You fell flat on your face down here, came down to our 480.40 level. What happened over here on Amazon? Not only did you make the higher high, but you also got bought up right away over here and closed it out with that nice lower wick. This thing wants to push. All right. And, you already are pushing a little in the after hours, but yeah, this thing is, I'm just going to say, like, reality, you have to get above 201.20 in my personal opinion for the larger bounce to actually come, but definitely something to pay attention to. You got the daily bullish divergence. You had the RSI bottom out at the exact same spot as you bottom out over here, and you just have been taking your dear sweet time, okay? And I know I said 10-20 minute video. It's not even freaking close to a 10-20 minute video. It's so cold. My food is so cold. It's okay, dude. I was hangry at the beginning of the video, but then you guys got me talking about the market again. All right. You know, I would think I'd be sick of, you know, from charting and posting the Discord and on Twitter and stuff all day about the freaking market. You'd think I'd be sick about it. I thought I was sick of it. And then I come home here. I start talking about it. I just want to freaking talk about it. I don't know. Like I said, you know, that's why I see Elon Musk. I'm like, guys, stop freaking hating on the guy, all right? The guy's just a cornball. He's a goofball. Just let him be a goofball. Like, you know, he's not boring. All right? These are the people who make the world go round. All right? Would you rather have one of these other freaking politicians in that position? Like, what are people, like, crazy about? What are you talking about? All right? Amazon, though, level to level, above 195.75. We're talking 198.57. Above there, 201.20. You can see it more clearly on the hourly time frame here. Break under 190.88. Bad things happen. You're coming down to 185.25. Break above 201.20. You could see you don't really have much here. You kind of get straight down. So that's almost a $10 move, $9 move there that you could take advantage of. But you got to get above 201.20. Goog with the daily bullish divergence over here. All of these got them. Like, this is what I'm saying. People are freaking crazy to be thinking this thing's just going to, you know, fall flat on his face. During the bear market, you're putting things like this, like you're getting these bounces. What are you talking about? You didn't even, like what we're getting this much time down here, you didn't even get that. Except for this over here. You did end up getting, you know, a pretty big bounce over here. But, you know, since we got into oversold territory, it's literally right here. You bounced, and from the bounce, you fell another freaking 10%. Gonna bounce. It hasn't bounced yet. You're underneath the short-term moving average here. You're underneath the 9. Just wait for it to start moving. Get above 176.90. Probably come back up here to 190. Boom. All right. SMH, semiconductors, guys. Semiconductors. I'm just going to point out. Weekly hammer candlestick off of your 213.57 support. You're coming back up to revisit 237. That's the target. That's all I'm going to leave it at. Get above 230.80. Rejection. That is a little high you made over here. Get over the high. You got, like, again, with this inverse head and shoulder structure we got going on here. Anybody wants to tell me it's bearish structure, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, yeah, you could sell down too low, but it makes absolutely no sense. Bear market or no bear market, it don't make sense to me. And, you know, it's frustrating to see people. I'm just saying, with these big fallings, I genuinely put out quality work, and, you know, it's right most of the time. Actionable insights over there on Twitter, and the account barely grows. Guys, please help me out with that over there. I am trying to adapt over time to becoming this Twitter guy, you know, who's nice with Twitter. But I'm telling you, I haven't been able to really move that account. Like, you know, YouTube, you put out a nice video, a nice, honest video. You be yourself in the video. Hey, people are like, you know what? Maybe I like this guy. Maybe I'll follow along. So I get, you know, 10 to 30 people every single time, pretty much guaranteed, coming over here. So channel keeps growing with the efforts. Hey, Twitter just ain't like that for me. I don't know. All right. Maybe I got to show my little personality over there, and that's what's different about these videos. I don't know. Okay. We'll see. But click the link down below and turn on the alerts. And yeah, please interact with the post so we can, I will interact with you over there, guaranteed. I'm going to try and respond to every single comment over there on the Twitter. That is the new goal here, because maybe that is what these other people are doing that I'm not doing. They're responding to everybody. I think that is a big thing. I was talking to Grok. Grok was like, respond. It's all about the replies. He was telling me it's all about the replies. Yes, I'm talking about the AI. It's a he. Maybe it's a she. Maybe it's a robot. Maybe it's a dog. No idea. Okay. Get above 230.80 over here. 237. INTC, guys, pull back to that green dot over there. You're going to have the short-term moving averages. You're coming back to retest the 200. You found buyers last time off of it, and you got a pretty sick, nasty bounce pretty quick there, 7%. I think we're probably about to see a similar reaction here. Probably about to see, you know, something like that go on. Get a sick, nasty move back in 25.61. Clear as day, the thing is heating up. All right. It was showing the strength over others. I know it's not today. It's just cooling off after that. But it is clearly something that, you know, made this move. Well, the market was not making that move. And I do think it's something to pay attention to. The turnaround story over here on INTC is real. Above 26.43, it moves. But this is where you're going to be a buyer. and you can risk off this level, because if you lose this, you're coming back down here. All right, and then you're back underneath the 21 EMA here, and then maybe you risk another big flush. So that's your level of risk. Long over here, risk there, target up here, take most off. Maybe you catch a move up there, but at that point, take most off. Just ride the wave up there with short dated contracts when the time comes. Avgo, again with this constructive look over here, like we got this inverse head and shoulders looking pattern over here. You can see it more clear on the hourly time frame. Left shoulder, head, all of this is your right shoulder. I know it looks pretty crazy. All right, or it's a giant cup and handle, or a triple bottom pattern, whatever you want to call this thing. This thing's building out, and it's getting ready to snap above 199.98. Get above 199.98. We're talking 211.11 comes quick. That's Avgo. SMCI above 44.99. You got 50.61. Above there, 56.19. On the downs, excuse me. Look at the hiccups. They popped up 35 minutes into the video. Look at they're in every video, guys. I promise. All right. You reclaimed this level today. You lost it, and then you reclaimed it early on today. If you can't hold 38.90, you're coming down to 34.98. That'll be where you got your reaction last time off the 0.786 fib. Lose that, bad things happen. TSM over here. All right. See this downtrend right there? See that trend line? Notice you find buyers of the 0.618. You have the daily bullish divergence going on here. You've tested this more than the indices have. This 9 EMA right here, getting ready to snap back. Okay, you get above 178.05, you're probably going to see a quick move up to 184.74 to 187.67. That supply zone. That's around the 200. Expect these tests to the 200. They're going to happen. All right, Bitcoin. Bitcoin's finally getting a bounce back. That's not really the important guy we're going to talk about, but I will point out here, 200. Rejection for 2 straight weeks. You finally got above it. You're also above the 21. If you pull back to 85K right here, 84.5 to 85, you want to find buyers there. That'll be right over. You want to flip that 200 into support, and then you're going to launch off of it, and you break that trend line. You break the trend line, get above 91K, 90.7K right there. I think good things happen all the way up here to 96 to 97K. As we watch over here on Bitcoin, if that's going to be the case, then this breakout is probably not going to be faded over here on MSTR. This is a setup that, we've been pointing out here. It was just a matter of time. All right. You had 2 shots at it over here. Now you're breaking out. So you have the actual breakout setup going on here as well. Break above 322.30. It's probably going to move quick up to 356.11. That's MSTR. Good things can happen over here. Bitcoin is to hold this move above the 200. It flips into support and starts pushing 91K. This thing's going. Coin, another one that, I'm not going to say it looks great over there like MSTR. It's not the one showing strength, but it can have some snapback catch-up action right over here. 200 DMA is in at 233. Price is currently 190. That probably takes place over the next 1 to 2 weeks. That is a $40 move. That will pay you, your mother, your father, and all of your children and your dogs and all of them, okay? This thing over here, probably about to have that snapback action over there. It's really just lagging, all right? Like you can see what Bitcoin is doing over here. Bouncing. Why is coin sitting down here at the lows? Just don't make sense to me. Okay, so it's probably something that's going to get bought up. All right? So that is what we were paying attention to. I'll highlight Oklo over here. This one that got really beaten down. Fell about, I think, 60%. Yeah, 60% right there. You get above 31.91, this thing could start moving. It's been known to have these big days over here. 20, we're talking 10, 20%. Multiple, like a lot. Once this thing starts getting one of these, the next day is also probably to be one of them. And maybe the day after that is one of them. And then, yeah, maybe it just keeps going. This thing had a very sick, nasty rally. We'll just check it on the weekly time frame. This was a 60% move in 1 week after breaking out over the level that you're reclaiming right now. You get above 31.91 over here, right over here. You can see the move that took place that week was 40%. There's $12. Okay, so that's the equivalent of get all the way back up here, 43.70. That would be a big move. That is something that I'm paying attention to over there on Oklo. But aside from that, guys, Netflix. I think this is going to be the biggest winner right here. I'm going to be completely honest. This guy could push highs. This guy could genuinely push highs as the market does not push highs. This is showing the relative strength against everything. I know I pointed out Amazon as the Mag 7 stock with the strength. And I know our boy Netflix over here, he got kicked out of the Mag 7 stocks. People are hating on him. But in reality, it's a pretty big company. It's a $400 billion company. And it is definitely showing relative strength compared to the market right now. You reclaim the short-term moving averages. You tested them. You got above them. You tested them yesterday. And you confirmed today that you do want to move higher. Over 967.63. We're paying attention to that big 999, that big 1,000. Okay? Golden Pocket's going to be sitting right up there. Expect rejection, but this $30 move can happen in one day. It's only a 3% move. I know, it doesn't look like a lot, but $30, go look at the option chain. Short dated contracts, they'll move with that. Dated contracts, they'll also move with that move. Okay? That is Netflix. And I'll highlight PLTR. This is another favorite of mine right now. You're reclaiming these short-term moving averages. I know it looks a little hairy here, but if you could pop above 88, 82, all right, that's when you're probably going to get the straight move up to 95.80 real quick. 95.80 to 99.32. Like I said, people are, thinking this company's just going to fall off a cliff and die. I understand. All right, I understand the company probably, current standing did not support all of this. Okay, but maybe up to here. Okay, but this whole, I think this was a little extended over here. I don't know if it's getting back up to highs. I personally don't think it's getting back up to highs on this move. I think we're going to get the dead cat bounce. So I think the setup is kind of immaculate. You had the hammer candlestick off at 21. You got, 3, now 4, but 3 back to back to back, lower wicks there. Now you have the 4th. You also pulled back. You found buyers here. You had this move, okay, from right here. You found buyers off the golden pocket. You can also check it out over here. Move right there. Pull back. Where? Golden pocket. And then you had the next little leg. Boom. Golden pocket. It's getting ready to snap. Okay. It's not going to, just have these little retracements. This is the consolidation. And then you break above and you get the actual directional move. 88, 82 is your key from that point. Boom. Hood. All right, hood over there. Similar look to PLTR. I would say PLTR is a lot better looking over here. But if you can snap above 43.83, which I know you already have in after hours, that's why we're pointing it out over here. All right, open up above it. I feel like you're going to pull back in the morning to test the support. Maybe you come all the way back down to 43. I think you'd probably print a lower wick. And then I think you are probably setting up for that 5 to 10% day. This thing ain't looking bad at all. I like the weekly chart over here on hood. You do have these short-term moving averages. All right, coming into play here, the 9 EMA is going to be right around $46. All right, so if you test 48.08, expect rejection by default. But then again, golden pocket is all the way up here. Not saying you get up there. We're probably at least going to get something like a 50% retracement. People think things are just going to fall off a cliff. They're not. All right, you're going to get retracements. We didn't get retracements on the other moves. You're going to get one, okay? And that brings you all the way up to $51. That is 20% above current level. Like, this is just like PLTR. Like, what the heck is this? 47%? It's kind of crazy to me. Uber, all right? Again, I mean, Netflix, it's the clear winner out of, my watch list right now. It's a clear winner. But Uber over here, you got the fresh breakout from this fallen wedge pattern over here. You pull back to a break and retest level, 69.58. Guys, if you get above 73.55 tomorrow or the day after, probably tomorrow, I think probably goes to 76.40 all one day. It probably happens pretty quick. This is a range that was built out. Reclaim the bottom of the range. You push to the top of the range. Above there, though, it's getting ready for that move to 80. It's not getting ready. It's happening. Above there, it's moving to 81.25. At that point, I don't think it's just going to stop. I think you're probably going to, make the new all-time high. We're going to have to see what happened. You had the impulsive move start up over here, guys. Things take time, all right? The charts, they will digest moves, okay? Or the markets will digest the moves that happen on the charts. And you had the big impulsive move up. It wasn't ready for all-time highs, but then you had the pullback to confirm, All right. See these short-term moving average right here? I know it's a little bit sloppy because we got a bunch of stuff here on the daily chart and it's not reflecting on the weekly chart. It's looking sloppy. But you could see rejection. This white line, 21. Blue line, 9. See the 21? How you reject, 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 reject. 4 weeks and then one impulsive move up. Okay. Now you are seeing wick, 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 wick. Where? Not only by the 200 EMA, not EMA, 200 DMA, daily moving average, but you are right here on the 21. All right. You found a wick off the 9, wick off 21, wick off 221, wick off 221, as well as 0.618 fib, as well as 69.58 breakout level. All right. Getting ready for a move. And you just got that breakout today. All right. The last one I am going to point out, SoFi. I like how this is looking over here. I'm going to highlight what I like about the weekly. I'm going to highlight what I like about the daily. This reminds me of something like IWM right now. Okay, I think you're going to get up here. I think that means we're probably going to be, seeing some of these guys move. This thing has an immaculate setup. You tested the 200 DMA over here, found buyers directly off of it. Now, I know you already had a 16% move here. Dips are buying opportunities, in my opinion, over here. I like the break and retest, 200 DMA test over here. You could clearly see. All right. Put in the Dragonfly Doji candlestick and mark your bottom. Okay. Break and retest. But what do we like about the daily in the short term? Like, what are we looking for? What sparked the interest? You broke this. Broke the downtrend. All right. You can get above the 21. I think you're probably going to come up here 14 to 15 bucks. Specifically, the level I'm watching, 14.42. All right, guys. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I know it wasn't no 10 to 20 minute video. You got your boy talking about stocks. He wants to talk about stocks. We got a lot to talk about. All right. With that being said, I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.